Good day to all. So I'm Miss Edeline Felix, your Discipline and Ideas in Social Science teacher. Today, we are here to listen and learn about our video lesson number 8, Rational Choice. Before we proceed to our lesson proper, let me introduce to you the objective that we will be using for this entire lesson. Our learning objective is to predict the social consequences of decision making based on scarcity. For our review from previous topic of our subject, we are going to analyze which among the following short story are situated to be id, ego, and superego. Here now our first short story entitled The Instant Billionaire. Mario won lottery with the amount of 200 billion pesos. Since then, he used to have a luxurious lifestyle out of poverty line. Now, he always go to casino to entertain himself and to socialize with other elites. So what do you think the best answer to describe the first short story that I present? Is it id, ego, or superego? Answer is id. Id is concerned by only with satisfying personal desire like Mario did. He is playing and making fun in a casino because that is different from the life he used to be before winning the lottery. It was all about his satisfaction and entertainment, maybe self-fulfillment for him. Now let's answer the next short story entitled King Solomon's Judgment. The story was about the two mothers as they came along to King Solomon of Israel asking for their claim for only one child. The two ladies in front of King Solomon claiming and saying that they are the true mother of the child. So the wise king called for a sword that will cut the baby in half to give it to two mothers in front of him. As one of the mothers shouted to King Solomon to give the child to the other mother that shouted, "Go ahead and cut him in half." The real mother said that she loved her baby and she surrendered it to the other mother just to don't kill it by the sword. After that, King Solomon recognized the true mother along the two ladies in claiming the child. Now, according to the story, which among the following shows structure of personality of id, ego, or superego? Very good, superego, because of the conscience that expressed by the mother or the true mother of the infant on King Solomon's judgment to find out who is telling the truth. Now we're on the last short story to tell. This one is entitled The Right Decision of a True Best Friend. This was a story of Jonathan, a law school student, as he was asked by a tough question of his professor. As he answered it, his professor asked him, "Are you sure with your answer?" "Yes, sir." Jonathan nodded, but actually he was looking pale and not sure of his answer. Then on the next chair, Professor asked his best friend Darwin the same question. As the professor revealed the correct answer, it turned out that Jonathan was wrong. The professor yelled out of Darwin saying, "You will decide for the grade of your best friend this midterm. I'll give you a perfect grade, Darwin, but in return, Jonathan will get a failing grade. Or you grade not as high to perfect, but fair to both of you, or you will both pass." Since Darwin knew that Jonathan really not striving hard for good grade, Darwin said that he rather wants a perfect grade than to save Jonathan, saying that it's all his fault and I only wanted is to teach him a lesson, though I'll benefit for it. After all, I deserve it because I really study hard. This time, what is your answer? Is it id, ego, or superego? What does Darwin show in this story? Is it id, ego, or superego? The correct answer is ego. Like what we learned from previous lesson, ego is to balance the demands of id and superego. We're done to review our previous lesson, which is psychoanalysis theory by Sigmund Freud. And we're also done to analyze the following short story to know from them what is id, ego, and superego. Now, this is the time to explain rational choice. We will start to explain first the meaning of rational choice. Luckily, we are on Dominant Approaches in Social Science Part 2. Hold on as we finish all the following dominant approaches in social science. Today, we are about to discuss rational choice. But first, what is rational choice? Rational choice refers to the idea that social interaction can be considered as social exchange, which is patterned on economic action that people are motivated by the rewards and costs of actions and by the profits that they can make at the lowest possible cost. According to rational choice, people make decisions according to what would give them the greatest satisfaction at the lowest cost, meaning to say, we maximize gain over the cost. These are the following key concepts in studying rational choice theory. This includes utility maximization. Number 2 is structure of preferences. Number 3 is decision making under conditions of uncertainty and centrality of individuals in the explanation of collective outcomes. Rational theory as well has several key theories that study for it. Number 1 is Gary Stanley Becker. Gary Stanley Becker or Gary Becker was an American economist who received the 1992 Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences. He was also the first economist to analyze the topics that had been researched in sociology, including racial discrimination, crime, family of organization, and rational addiction. He investigated human behavior and interactions such as discrimination, crime, and punishment, human capital, families, and organ market. Another key theories that we may include in studying rational choice theory or choice theory are the following. During 1950s and 1960s, sociologists such as George C. Homans, Peter Blue, and James Coleman promoted rational choice theory in relation to social exchange. These theories stated that rational calculation of an exchange of cost and rewards drive social behavior. Among with them is George Caspar Homans, who is prominent in the study of social exchange theory. Social exchange theory is about social behavior resulting from exchange process. The purpose of this exchange is to maximize benefits and minimize cost. In social exchange, friends with benefits is an ideal metaphor to describe its process. People who wanted always to be free of charge because of they wanted to save and to avoid scarcity or individual scarcity. Next on our list is Adam Smith. He believes on self-interest like Homans' theory of social exchange, but he also pioneered the study of the invisible hand. Adam Smith was one of the first economists to develop the underlying principle of rational choice theory. Smith elaborated on his study of self-interest and the invisible hand theory in his book An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations, which was published during 1776. According to him, the invisible hand theory was a study that individuals driven by self-interest and rationality will make decisions that lead to positive benefits for the whole economy. Adam Smith came with the idea of invisible hand that guides the forces of supply and demand in an economy. Every person, by looking out for themselves, inadvertently helps to create the best outcome for all. By selling products that people want to buy, a hypothetical butcher, brewer, and baker in this economy hope to make money. If they are effective in meeting the needs of their customers, they will enjoy financial rewards, and while they are engaging in enterprise for purpose of earning money, they are also providing products that people want. Smith argues that this kind of system creates wealth for the butcher, brewer, and baker in addition to creating wealth for the entire nation. Since we are done to discuss the following key theories that we may refer in rational choice theory, let's now proceed in discussing the following key concept in rational choice we listed a while ago. Let's now first discuss the first key concept in rational choice, which is utility maximization. Utility maximization refers to the concept of individuals and firms seek to get the highest satisfaction from their economic decisions. For example, when deciding how to spend budget, to things that we may have alternative, lesser price or lesser number of products to purchase more favorable product, individuals will purchase the combination of goods and services that give the most satisfaction. Maximize the value of money over intended needs, goods, and services for the satisfaction. To give an example for this, in some instances, when we are baking, we may lessen the sweetness of what we want to bake in favor for the other ingredients that we may add to make it more delicious. We may save a certain amount for not adding sugar, but this still can be preferable for the consumer of the food. Now, in key concept number 2, we are about to engage in structural preference in rational choice. It is a set of qualitative relation between the objective or alternatives for which the resolution leads to a certain trade-off. An example of it is like we usually watch in a commercial in television. If in key concept number 1, we tend to sacrifice one thing to save but for the betterment, this time structure preference allows us to wisely choose not only by the means of being practical, but we tend to negotiate to our personal and behavioral preferences. An example of it is brand A and brand B of detergent or laundry detergent. If brand A claims that they are not only to clean but to care for your skin, brand B may promise or claim that they are most leading brand to save the color of your clothing. This time, structure preference is letting us to choose depending to our greatest needs and wants, not sacrificing quality over expense or vice versa. Next in our key concept is key concept number 3, decisions under uncertainty. It is about our decision under uncertainty and how we lead to irrational choice. These are the decisions under uncertainty that refers to an epistemic situation involving imperfect or unknown information. It applies to predictions or of future events, to physical measurement that are already made, to the unknown. This time, we tend to have more irrational choice, meaning to say, you did not meet their expectation or benefits from the decisions you engage to this. This is not happens only in key concept number 3 but also in other key concept that we may discuss. What is irrational choice? Irrational choice are choices that are opposite to rational. It means that an organism chooses suboptimally. Example, it chooses alternative that result in a lower probability of reinforcement. At the end, you did not meet your greatest outcomes. An example of decision under uncertainty is getting a college course or degree by your own decision, but you don't have background to the course you choose. An example of it is you wanted to be a flight attendant not because of the profession, but you love how a flight attendant looks in their professional attire. Our last key concept in the list is centrality of individuals in explanation of collective outcomes. In rational choice theory, it states that every individual uses rational calculations to make rational choices and achieve outcomes that are aligned with their own personal objective. In this type of key concept, the result or these results are also associated with maximizing an individual's self-interest. Using rational choice theory is expected to result in outcomes that provide people with the greatest benefit and satisfaction given the limited option they have available. In this type of concept, we may tag or include the type of person that tend to have preferences that agree more on their personal objective. For instance, your parent gave you 1,000 pesos saying that you and your eldest and younger brother will share for that amount of money. But since you have personal desire in buying new backpack, you buy the total amount of backpack of 1,000 pesos for a backpack of your choice. Then on, you share it with your brother to balance the situation. That would be all for rational choice. All of us deal in different choice in life because of the benefits and opportunities in our way, but take into consideration that we are not the one, or we are not only the one in the world to survive. Others do to avoid scarcity. We must help each other to move forward. For your assessment, maximize the gain over the cost. As a student, your task is to make a budget graph that will show you how you will consume your allowance based on the following key concept that we discussed. This activity is our activity number 8 entitled Wise Choice. Before this video ends, I want to thank the following references that we used for this entire video lesson. Thank you for listening. We're done to discuss lesson number 8, Rational Choice. Till our next video lesson series, goodbye!